Hi there, I'm Neko, a game designer, at least that's what my degree says. I'm starting this video series to document the progress of my new game, Full Moon Guildhouse Barista Simulator. At least that's what I'm calling it for now, before I actually figure out an actual name. It's a game basically where you work at my guild house and you make drinks for people, kind of similar to games like Coffee Talk or Cooking Mama, Papa Pia's Freezeria, and more of a line with other cooking games. You'll even be able to create drinks based on other VTubers, which is kind of the main reason why I'm making this game. So you might be asking, where did this idea come from? I'm a big food enjoyer, so making games with food was kind of always hand in hand. When I was younger, I really wanted to be a chef. I clearly did not go into culinary school. I went into game design instead. I may not have been a chef, but I did work in food service for a little bit too, so that also is kind of where it came from. And more specifically, in college, I was a barista. This is actually one of the biggest sources of inspiration I had for this game, because making drinks in the morning at 6 a.m. was always really fun and honestly really relaxing for me. I wanted to make a game where I could relive that feeling. So I did. In college. This game was called 17 Midnight Cafe, and I'm honestly really proud of it. But like all games, there was a lot of things I wish I could have changed. This game actually had a 3-part loop rather than what I'm currently making. You would go talk to people, gather ingredients, and then make a drink, and you'd kind of make a drink based on whatever the person was telling you. And it was really cool on paper. It was very alright in practice. The biggest praise that we received from the game was the part that I worked on the most, which was the coffee making part. And I really, really wanted to remake this section. Now that I'm a bit smarter with my game design skills, and now that I've just kind of been chilling out, this is something that I really wanted to do and kind of just give it another shot. So I'm gonna be honest with everybody, I have not made actual proper game design documents since college. Most of the games I made recently have been fairly small projects, like Danny's Bunker Simulator and also my interactive debut I made 2 years ago. So I didn't really have a need to make a game design document. They kind of were just ideas in my head. I kind of raw dogged all of my projects, and of course this came with a breadth of issues. Let's talk about Danny's project for a little bit. It's basically I had this loop down, it was done, and I had kind of an idea, but that wasn't it. A lot of questions came up look at this, should I make more than the level? Do I have the enemy? I'm scared. How much level should I make? Who the fuck? You can probably see that I very, very quickly spiraled making this game. So to start this new project, I tried to do what I do best, and I started with a storyboard and design pillars. While I know what the overall goal of this game is supposed to be, defining how this game was basically the first step of starting this project. That came first with defining the design pillars. A design pillar, for those who do not know, is a design method in which you state kind of the themes of your project, and it basically forces me to face every future decision with this question: does this addition fit my game design pillars? God bless you, MJ, for teaching me this in college. Oh my god, dude, it has helped me with every single facet of my life. Shout outs to MJ for being my boss and also a great professor and instructor. I don't know if he's gonna see this fucking video. So as for this current game, these are the pillars that I made. Cozy or crazy. My game needs to be good for both cozy gamers and also fast paced for people who are more into that kind of gameplay. Modular design. My game needs to be both modular in the way that the game will play, like having separate stations that interact with each other, but they also can interact with each other at the same time, and also in the way that I write my code. So being better about separating my code, not writing everything in one script, and being able to enable things and disable things very easily is super critical for this. Twitch integration. My game needs to have some form of Twitch integration feature. I am a streamer after all. I want fun ways for viewers to interact with the streamer and also with the game that's being played. VTubers are the highlight. My game should just highlight my friends. This is more of a fun pillar than anything, but the big thing I wanted to do is also just showcase my friends. I love my friends so much, and I wouldn't be here without them, so having a way to kind of show them off was kind of a big thing for me. So after these pillars were made, I ended up making a very quick storyboard with the general loop of the game. This is all done on stream, so if you actually want to go and watch that stream, the VOD is up. I like using storyboards for design because it helps really create a visual of what I want for a game, and also allows other people to kind of understand what's going on in my head. So you can kind of see that in this, it's a very simple loop. You have a cup, you follow a recipe, and you get rated based on how it was made. I then went ahead and moved all of this to a document, kind of fleshed everything out. These are living documents in a way that these components will be changing over time. I might have something written down, but it might change. Some mechanic might not work actually on paper, so we'll have to change it. This will be changing alongside development. So one of the things, or at least like what I think is the least done steps in game design, is the research portion. This could range anything from what are other games that have similar mechanics or kind of similar aesthetics and goals to, oh my god, how the hell do you make coffee? I have played way too much Papa's Freezeria for research. Like, I mean, I think I spent like 1 or 2 hours just playing this game. This game was probably the closest to the loop of my game. So you take orders, you make drinks, and then you serve those drinks, and then you're rated based on your performance on the task. So in terms of research, what did I learn from Papa P's Freezeria? I like the way that the game makes you multitask all these different stations and all these different things going on. It's kind of very similar to how my job as a barista was, where I had to juggle like making an espresso, but someone else wanted a smoothie, and then someone else wanted tea. There was like a lot going on, and you had to really juggle that as a barista and manage your like tasks. There's also a lot of combinations of milkshakes, and that really adds on to the difficulty of the game, because you have to really understand like, where are all of your ingredients? What ingredients do I need for this drink? And you have to start then balancing what drink was what, which I really loved. The other part of this was to also figure out what I didn't want in this game. I wanted to make transitioning from stations to stations a lot more smooth. I don't want it to fade into black and we have to hop in between. It made everything feel very disconnected rather than having it, I'm in a kitchen or something. One of the other things I didn't like is that taking orders and getting rated for your orders took a lot longer than I would have liked. It kind of slowed down the gameplay a little bit, but I kind of understand what it was made for. Now, for the out-of-game research, I mentioned before, I was a barista in college, so I do know a little bit about food service and whatnot. It's been a couple of years. I did spend a little bit of time remembering how to make coffee and whatnot, but I also went ahead and looked at videos to see how they did it. James Hoffman does a really good job at doing a lot of like espresso videos and breaking down coffee videos. Watching the Korean cafe videos where they just made drinks. This helped me remember a lot of the procedures on how to make espresso. The terminology is a huge part of this, and also gave me a lot of inspiration on how I want the game to look and the aesthetics of the game. So really good research done. I'm really proud of what I did. Doing research for games is something that's really useful, and I really encourage a lot more people to do it. It's a very simple step, and I think it's honestly one of the most fun steps that you can do with design, because it's really just absorbing the information and then abstracting it into the way that you want it to be like. Production is something that I am very not good at. Whenever I was on a team project in college, I begged everyone else to be a producer, and for the life of me, I can't figure out task planning, ever. Obviously, I'm doing this solo, so now I have a Notion, I have a Trello, I have a ClickUp, so if you want to, you can track my game in real time. Just go to the Trello, I'll link it somewhere in the description. It's over there, just look at it. Part of this project was to help train those skills. My goal ultimately is not to be a producer. I'd rather have someone else manage my tasks, thank you very much. Being able to estimate the time it takes to make things would be really good for my overall planning and also my little mental health, because God, I need to figure that out. If you want to, you can join the Discord because I will be posting updates there. Now that everything has been done planning, I hopped into the code into Unity, only to realize that maybe I hadn't planned things out very well actually. I was so focused on getting so straight in the code that I didn't realize how I really wanted to structure things. So I took a step back and just kind of made a document on how I wanted to set it up. This is more of like a technical design document. Here's it. It's not super great. I'm still trying to learn how to do this properly. I also ended up making a design document for the cups and the stations and how they're going to be playing out. I made a recipe spreadsheet so you can, have all the ingredients in one place and what ingredients make what. I also made a rating system spreadsheet to double check on like how I actually really want the ratings to be like. There's a whole slew of things that I ended up making just so that way I can make sure that like this all works out. Planning is super important, because making something and then realizing you actually need it a different way only really sets you back. That's why I had to like actually take a step back and kind of learn from my like previous failures. And I'm glad I caught myself a little bit short on this failure, because it would have wasted so much time actually going, I don't know how to really do this in Unity. How do I, and I just start freaking out again. Ultimately, I was able to get most of the basic stuff done, and I'm really proud of what I did, and I'll eventually like release the documents or something. So if you didn't know, in the last 2 weeks, as of at least recording this audio and writing the script, it's been really fucking bad, not because of the game, but because of the weather. My area reached like 100 degrees Fahrenheit almost every day. For the Celsius girlies, that's like 37.7 Celsius. So I would wake up and then just kind of knock out during the day. and then I would wake up back again at night. And because of that, I actually didn't get that much work done. But that's okay. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, is that you need a fucking rest. There were definitely days that I had no energy at all, yet I still persisted to work with it against my own fucking judgment. And do you know what happened? I had 3 hours of not fucking doing anything, frustrated and tired. I am a huge believer of people who enjoy the work that they do will do their best work. And I think that's always true. If you are not happy, or you're tired, or you're grumpy, then how do you expect to get good work done? How do you expect to actually complete things and be proud of it if the entire time you were making something, you were just frustrated? I'm obviously not saying don't do any work at all, but if you're just more mindful and you listen to what your body is saying, things will go better. Just take a rest. Just take a break. Go fucking, how long is this video? Is it long? Stand up, move. Anyways, that's all for this devlog. If you haven't already, go check out my Twitch. I'll be streaming every Monday and Tuesday at 3 p.m. PDT. If you ever want to, co-work with me, chat with me, I'll be there. I'll be working on this game depending on the day. I also play games on Fridays and Saturdays if you just want to hang out. I'll just be doing that too. That's just kind of a staple with my community. I'll be posting more updates on Discord and also uploading early prototypes there too. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I will be making more of these devlogs. This is going to be a bi-weekly thing from now on, hopefully. So thank you. Thank you for watching. This is my first one. I don't know how I'm supposed to actually record any of these. So I don't know. This one might have been a fucking mess. I might be rambling and then the other suggested videos will show up or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, that's sick. Okay, fuck. We're done.